Let me show you what happened. Just an example. Look, go to Exodus, the 20th chapter. This is when the Most High gave us, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, the commandments. Exodus 20 and 18. And all the people saw the thunderings, just like I just said, that's his voice. The thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. When they seen all that and they heard that, they went away from that mountain. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou unto us, and we will hear thee, and we will hear. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die. That's what I'm saying. What you gonna do when he come for you? And these things gonna happen on a high level. We're gonna make sure we shake the whole world. Thunder so loud, car alarms be going off, earth be moving. Through sounds can move things. Understand this, understand this. So it says, and they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not. See, they scared. Fear not. So what you think that fear means? All y'all don't believe fear means to be afraid, to be scared. You think they wasn't scared? You think we wasn't scared? That's why I say fear not. Don't be afraid. The Most High has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off. They still stood away, moving away from there. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the Most High was, through the spirit of Mashiach. So, what you gonna do when he comes for you? Let you know. People, they were afraid. They became afraid. That's why, go to Deuteronomy 6 and 5. 6 and 4. This is the first of all the commandments. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. It's the first of all the commandments. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. That's the first of all the commandments. The first commandment is this: and thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. These words, which I command thee this day, shall be in thine heart, in your mind. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So we say you're supposed to be teaching the children these laws of the Most High, talking about them when you're sitting in your house, and you walking by the way, and when you rise up. We'll be talking about these laws. This is the law the Most High said we're supposed to be doing. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. Supposed to be seeing, looking at this. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. It shall be when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. That's our fathers. Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob. That's what the Most High says. His name is forever and a memorial to all generations. To give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. This is the kingdom. That's why I go to Isaiah. So we gotta have hope within the fact of doing what's right. He give it to us. He said we're gonna have cities that thou buildest not. Isaiah 60 and 10. The sons of strangers These other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. When my wrath I smote thee, Israelites, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. That's the strangers in verse 10. These other nations. And that their kings may be brought. We don't have no kings. We don't have no rulers. See? For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Meaning they're going to be destroyed. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. They're going to be utterly wasted. Verse 14. The sons also of them that afflict thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee, despise is past tense. So all those that despise us now, to the point of us going into the kingdom, Most High will, shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. They're going to bow down to the soles of the Israelites, 1/3 of the Israelites' feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Most High, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated. Now you know, these are past tense. All the way to the kingdom say, we have been forsaken and hated. Forsaken. Nobody thinking about us, and hated. So that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency. This is what we're looking forward to. He's going to make us an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Most High, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. I mean, you can get no clearer than that. The mighty one of Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. So therefore you know, when the Jewish people went to Israel in 1948, talking about the Jews that returned home, no. It said violence shall no more be heard in thy land. This has to happen. Wasting nor destruction within thy borders. No bombing, no shooting and killing people. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, power, rulership, and authority. And thy gates praise. We went over the gates. 3 tribes going into the gates on the north, 3 tribes going into the gates in the south, 3 tribes going into the gates in the east, 3 tribes going into the gates in the west. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall no more shine. The sun shall no more shall be no more thy light by day. We don't need the sun. The sun shall be no more thy light by day. Neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. We're not going to need the moon for light. But the Most High shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy power, thy glory. Woo, man. Can you imagine that? That's why they say he's so bright, the man cannot, we can't even go before him. The brightness of the Most High. So he's going to be the light for the day and the light for the night. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Most High shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. The days of mourning shall be ended. That's the kingdom. Thy people also shall be all righteous. We're going to be all righteous because the Most High is going to teach us of the whole part. We know in part and prophesy in part now, but we're going to be all righteous because we're going to understand how the Most High would want us to be righteous in His eyes. Not in our own eyes or some other man's eyes or whatever. whoever it is that you believing in, beside the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. But the Mashiach Yahushua is going to rule us for 1,000 years. Years to show us of the Father. So what does it say? Verse 21, thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. Just like it says, the saints of the Most High are going to inherit the kingdom forever. Here it is again. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, not no man's planting. Talking about come here for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. No. He said the branch of my planting. The Most High going to do this. There's a reason why. The work of my hands. Why? That I may be glorified. Not no man, but the Most High going to be glorified. When he plant us in the land of Israel, New Jerusalem, once he cleans it, purifies it with fire, as it is written. A little one shall become 1,000. Hear that? A little one will become 1,000. I mean, you have 1,000 babies. You women ready for that? All you selfish women out there, y'all ready for that? Y'all gonna have 1,000 babies? Oh, most of them I ask that, they say, oh no. That have had children? Oh no, they can't see that. It said a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time. You gotta accept this. That's why you gotta realize it's time to wake up before it's too late. Most I say he gonna do this in his time. Salvation, powers and authority coming to the children of Israel. If you can accept it, if not, then I don't know what to tell you. Except that you want to be left behind, burned. It's not a good thing at all. Even speak on it. Sure, thinking about it. Look at Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Most High power is upon me, because the Most High have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, right? So, when we look at Luke 4:18, that's why I challenge those that don't believe in the Mashiach Yahushua or believe in the New Testament to take the old and make a new. Just say men did this. No. It's inspired by the Spirit of the Most High. Listen. Luke 4:18. The Spirit of the Most High is upon me. Let me show you that you know it's in my Mashiach. Go jump up to verse 16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. Mashiach Yahushua. And as his custom was, this is custom, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. This is custom. On the Sabbath day, he went to the synagogue. He went to a building. A lot of you talking about it ain't supposed to be in no building dealing with the Sabbath day. No, he went into a building, the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah, that we just read in Isaiah 61. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovery of sight unto the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Mashiach, Yahushua. And he closed the book and gave it again to the minister and sat down. This is Mashiach Yahushua. And sat down. And the eyes of all of them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. They're looking at him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. What did he say? Verse 18. The Spirit of the Most High. What is that? Is upon me. He said, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bear him witness and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is not this Joseph's son? They looking at him. Man, that's Joseph's son. So, why would they say Joseph's son if Joseph was not his father? You think the people didn't know? And he said unto them, ye will surely say unto me this proverb, physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, do also here in thy country. And he said, verily, truly I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. Hear that? That's a Mashiach Yahushua, not accepted in his own country. But I tell you of a truth. Many widows were in Israel in the days of Isaiah, when the heavens were shut up 3 years and 6 months. When great famine, food shortage, was throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Isaiah sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. Hear this? Let me read it again. But I tell you of truth, verse 25. Many widows, look, were in Israel in the days of Isaiah. Widows are those women that have their husband is dead. When the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, no rain for 3 years and 6 months. When great famine was throughout all the land. But unto none of them was Isaiah sent. None of these widows was Isaiah sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. And many lepers were in Israel in the time of Elias, the prophet. And none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman, the Syrian. Hear that? One widow, one leper. Many lepers, many widows, only one. Many lepers, only one. Naaman, the Syrian. And all there in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with wrath. They got angry. He said, is this Joseph's son? Who do you think he is? Nobody but Joseph's son. He said those words that you know ain't about quantity, it's about quality. Many widows, but only came to one. Many lepers, but only came to one. Many. They heard that, they were full of wrath, and rose up and thrust him out of the city, and led him unto the brow of the hill whereon their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong, they might throw him off a cliff. That's why he said in verse 24. And he said, verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. Verse 29, and rose up, they full of wrath, they rose up and thrust him out of the city. This is Mashiach Yahushua, the Son of the Most High. Did more miracles than he put in all the books of the world. Said all the books of the world couldn't contain all the miracles that he done. This was given him. And rose up and thrust him out of the city, and led him unto the brow of the hill, whereon their city was built, that they might cast him down headlong, throw him down headlong. But he passing through the midst of them went his way, got away from them. and came down to Capernaum, the city of Galilee, and taught them on the Sabbath days. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. See, he wasn't no weak speaking cat. His words were with power. That's why he went out so much, so powerful. If you look at his voice, understanding this, go to Mark, the 4th chapter, in verse 1. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea. And the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. So he went out into a ship, and all the multitude of people was on the land. And you know, a ship can't go so far because it'll bottom out. It's not going to bottom out. They know they can only go so far. So he went out to a ship in the sea. And he taught them many things by parables and said unto them in his doctrine. You see, that's the kind of voice he has. Tells you that. Revelation 1:15. And his feet like the fine brass, if it burned in the furnace. Very dark-skinned man. You know, got brass right here. Burned in the furnace. You see his side is very, very dark. And his feet, Mashiach's feet, like unto fine brass if it burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. You hear that? Daniel had the same vision of the Mashiach Yahushua. Daniel's 10:5-6. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, which is brown. When you look at that word beryl, B-E-R-Y-L. I don't know why they come up with this green, but beryl is brown. And his face as the appearance of lightning. All the wisdom not to understand, it was illuminated from it. Ecclesiastes the 8th chapter, the 1st verse. And his eyes as lamps of fire. It tells you in prophecies that his eyes shall be red with wine. Genesis 49:12. And his arms and his feet like in color, so color it is in the Bible, to polished brass. And that polished brass was to burn in the furnace, what Revelation told us. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. You hear that? So it says like many waters, and I said the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Like everybody saying the same thing at the same time. Loud voice. That's why y'all gotta be ready for it. You better be ready. You got a problem with a brother having a loud voice, hearing a voice that's loud. What you gonna do when I'm outside with a shot? Confront you. You're gonna fall apart. Look at Matthew. So we still doing conduct. You gotta understand the proper conduct to be able to bring forth the right scriptures to back up the way you think. To the way you speak, to the way you act. Look at Matthew 22 and verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees, see, the Sadducees don't believe in the resurrection. They were the religious leaders. The Pharisees were the religious leaders with dealing with politics also. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees, the disciples, they were gathered together. So they always come together. Come against the Mashiach Yahushua. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? which is the great commandment in the law. Moshe said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So what is he saying? He's letting us know that the laws, we talk about 613 laws, the laws are based upon how we love the Most High and how we love the children of Israel as ourselves. So you gotta love yourself to love someone else. So all the laws is based upon how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. Got moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and that's it. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. Those 4 laws. But we had the sacrificial laws, but we know that Mashiach was the Lamb of the Most High, the ultimate sacrifice. But we don't sacrifice animals for the atonement of our sins anymore. He is the ultimate sacrifice for the atonement of our sins. All those ceremonial sacrifices were in compliance to a shadow of things to come, which is a Mashiach Yahushua. Most High wants us to be obedient. He don't want us to have a sacrifice. He don't want for a Mashiach Yahushua to continue to have to come to him to ask for forgiveness for us. He wants us to be obedient. Mashiach Yahushua was the example, came in the flesh, made like unto all men. Give us an example that can be done. So there's no excuse for anyone when you meet to judge the feet of Mashiach Yahushua. You're going to say, I did it. How you say you couldn't do it? Once I enlighten you with this truth. You understand this? Concerning the truth. This is very important. Look at 1 Ezra, 4th chapter. And verse 37. Well, let's read verse 35. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. See that? Great is the truth, and stronger than all things. This is 1 Ezra, the 4th chapter, the 35th verse down. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesses it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Hear that? So with the truth is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. Woo. And their unrighteousness also they shall perish. You know? You don't want to conduct yourself in righteousness, keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, fearing the Most High, you're going to perish. For the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. With her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. So, if you rolling in the truth, you got to follow what it's saying. You want to be rewarded, you got to refrain from all unjust and wicked things. Verse 40, neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the Most High power of truth, And with that he held his peace. And all the people then shouted and said, great is truth and mighty above all things. So, great is the truth and mighty above all things. But are you rolling in the truth? I say, no unrighteous thing. What's righteousness? Deuteronomy 6:25. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, as he hath commanded us. Keep his commandments. That's righteousness. Keep his commandments. If you do that, you're going to be on point with him. Ephesians 5:1. Be ye therefore followers of the Most High as dear children, and walk in love. Walk in the love is what? The commandments of the Most High. Mashiach just told us in John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. Walk in love, keep the commandments of the Most High, as Mashiach also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us in offering and a sacrifice to the Most High for a sweet smelling savor. Let's say the ultimate sacrifice. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints. All these things are not supposed to be upon us. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, being a joker all the time. Foolish talking. That's what they have. All these things that'll take you away from the Most High, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, those that sleeping around with this woman, this man, that man, no unclean person, no covetous man, somebody that desires everything that everybody else has, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Mashiach and of the Most High. So either you're going to choose to be righteous or unrighteous. You want to be righteous, you know what's coming. We done read about it. No more violence, no more sorrow, no more sadness. A beautiful kingdom. Verse 6. This is pretty deep because I'm going to read this, but I want you to understand something. It says, let no man deceive you with vain words. So let no man deceive you with lies, lying words, and worthless words, things that will have nothing to do with helping you to be a better person. But because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. Look at the world. Look at what are the highly exalted people of the world, celebrities and, music mongols and those that are elevated in this world. The disobedient, are they talking about keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High? Are they elevating the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? You can say God all you want to. All the gods of the nations are idols. So just because they're saying God, that don't mean that they're dealing with the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because all the gods of the nations are idols. We still got gods. but they're not the Most High. And when they say, I want to thank God, are they really talking about the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Do they stand before an audience and say, we are the children of Israel? But Negro, Indian, Latinos are scattered among all nations. That's coming back to the Most High by keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments, being righteous, as we just read in Deuteronomy 6:25. What God are they talking about? That's why I say, let no man deceive you. Don't be fooled. Don't be lied to with vain words. Vain words, worthless words. What they say don't mean a damn thing. Because it ain't thus say the Most High from His word of the mouth of the Most High, according to this Bible. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. To show you how you're supposed to conduct yourself as a righteous person in this earth to make it to the kingdom. Is that being done, or you just having a good time? Something to make you feel good. That's why it said in verse 4, neither filthiness, this filthy, videos filthy, movies filthy, you know, curriculum that they teaching the children now is filthy, nor foolish talking, things that's foolish. That's what everybody like to look at, because they foolish themselves. You can't say you're not foolish if somebody's foolish, if they doing foolish things, you like the foolish things, you like foolish things. Foolish talking, nor jesting, joking all the time, jokesters, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, nor who is an idolater, you know, that's contrary to the Most High, against the Most High, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Mashiach and of the Most High. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience. The wrath of the Most High coming upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them. Now, if you decide that you looking at the children of disobedience and you partaking with them, what is that? You right along with them. You support them. For you were sometimes darkness, you were sometimes in ignorance, he's saying. But now are ye light. In the name of the Lord and Savior. Walk as children of light. Say, walk as children of light. Not as children of darkness. The world is in darkness. The world is set up to send you straight to hell. Some of you don't. Some of you not afraid of the Most High. Therefore, you don't fear the Most High. Therefore, you do what you want to do and think the Most High won't deal with you. Then, so you know you got spirits all upon you, and you want somebody to feel sorry for you because what can you do with these spirits? The Most High put those spirits on you. He set those spirits on you because you turn your back on Him. He's telling you what to do. Where He said, verse 8, for you were sometimes darkness. You were sometimes darkness. You know? But now you're supposed to be coming to the marvelous light. But now are ye light. You can't be saying that if you're in darkness. You ain't hearing that. You praying to Satan. The idols of the nations. They are the other gods. You say, now you light in the name of the Lord and Savior. Walk as children of light. I'm telling you to walk. Let your walk be as children of the light. The light is keeping on the Most High's commandments. The light is believing in the Mashiach Yahushua, having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. He is that light. We say He's the way, the truth, and the light. He's the way that shows how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High is going to lead to everlasting life on you. And He was an example to show us that it could be done. For the fruit of, verse 9, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Most High. Is that what we want? The proper conduct so we can be acceptable to the Most High? Unless you want some other way. There's no other way except for what we read here. But you have all the things in this world to have you distract you from righteous acts being wrote in the book for you because of all the negative entities that the world shows you. He's giving you that so you can go to hell with it. That's why you look at Acts, the 28th chapter. And 28 and 25. Acts 28, 25. And when they agreed not among themselves, they departed after that Paul had spoken one word. Well spake the Holy Spirit by Elijah, by Isaiah, the prophet unto our fathers, saying, Go unto this people, 12 tribes of Israel, the children of Israel, and say, Hearing ye shall hear and not understand, and seeing ye shall see and not perceive. For the heart of this people is waxed gross. So these things are known over and over again, you see. For the heart which the mind of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Be it known, therefore, unto you, that the salvation of the Most High is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it. These Gentiles represent the scattered of Israel. You had 9.5 tribes that were scattered long before Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But all tribes were scattered. Judah was scattered in the four corners of the earth. But he says he's going to go to the Israelites. It's just like your parents, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your nephew and nieces, your friends, your associates call themselves what? Gentiles. And what you tell them? No, you're the Israelites. You're the people of the book. No, I'm a Gentile. So it don't take a rocket science to look at us, our people being Gentiles, because it's right in your face right now. You gonna tell me every last one of your family members, except the fact that we the Hebrew Israelites? Your granddaddy, your grandmama, your aunts and your uncles? No. They call themselves Gentiles because they've been programmed by slavery. From slavery to now. This is instruction to the Negroes in the United States of America. Look it up, 16 to 20. To now. And when he had said these words, the Jews departed and had great reasoning among themselves. Because, I'll show you. Let me finish this. And Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own hired house, and received all that came in unto him. So he taught in a house, preaching the kingdom of the Most High, and teaching those things which concern our Master, our Mashiach Yahushua, with all confidence, no man forbidden him. So he taught 2 years in his own hired house, in the house. Let me show you how it say Gentiles, and it's like the Jews, the Israelites, the ones that Mashiach Yahushua came among and knew he had came and was keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They considered the Israelites that were scattered Gentiles. Go to St. John the 7th chapter, 33rd verse. St. John 7 and 33. Then said Mashiach Yahushua unto them, Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. So he says he's going to go back to the right hand side of the Most High and send him to be the ultimate sacrifice, the Lamb of the Most High, for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 35. Listen to this closely. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles? Dispersed among the other Gentiles that are outside of the 12 tribes of Israel? Listen, and teach the Gentiles. So he called them the same. They equated the 9.5 tribes or the scattered of Israel as the other nations. Because the Most High said, leave them, especially he said, leave them 9.5 tribes, as long as they leave them alone. They're dealing with idolatry. Read the book of Hosea, it tells you that. So now, you see that they called the Israelites Gentiles. Because they knew better than to think they was talking about the Gentiles or the other nations. He told them in Matthew 10, 5 and 6. Matthew 10, 5 and 6. These 12, Mashiach sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See? So he told them, don't go to the Gentiles. So they definitely not talking about he going to go to the Gentiles. But the other nations said, as you go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. What we supposed to be doing? Telling our people the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So I'm dealing with conduct. So you got the right conduct so that you can be part of the kingdom of heaven. That's at hand. Closer now than it was then. We know this. So let's look at the First Peter's, the first chapter. In the 15th verse. Let's deal with Peter. He's dealing with, once he received the Spirit of Mashiach, the Holy Spirit, Spirit of the Most High, in Acts the 2nd chapter, now he can go out to the scattered of Israel. Couldn't go before he received the Holy Spirit. So now, you see in 1 Peter 1 and 1, Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua. Not a disciple. The disciple was learning. Apostle was already learning. To the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Elect are the children of Israel, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, who is the father of whom? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So when you see the Most High, that's what we say his name is forever, the Lord of all generations. So it can't be talking about any other nation. To sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience, meaning keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and sprinkling of the blood of Mashiach Yahushua, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Blessed be the power and follower of our Master of Mashiach Yahushua, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Mashiach Yahushua from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible. We're going to last forever and ever, with no corruption, and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you. Man. So we talk about the kingdom is reserved in heaven for us. Waiting on us to get ourselves together. Look at Yah to the Most High. Just a moment.